Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 462. This show is brought to you by Primary Arms and VZ Grips. In this show, we'll be discussing a fantastic 4-16 review, Oracle's 2311, an AR shotgun, and the Mat 9. As you may know, we showcase guns, gear, and anything else you may be looking for. We do our best to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm Chad Wallace, and my co-hosts tonight are Tony, Rob, and Rusty. And first up, we have Primary Arms. This month, Primary Arms Optics has released a new line of SLX and GLX 10x42 binoculars, which deliver premium performance and features for a fraction of the price. The SLX binoculars offer edge-to-edge clarity with enhanced color definition and image brightness. A close minimum focal distance and wide field of view make them easy to use at any distance. If you want even greater performance, the GLX binoculars add premium ED glass and a magnesium body with a rubber overmold. Priced at $129.99 and $259.99 respectively, the Primary Arms SLX and GLX binoculars are certain to be a top choice for both outdoor and travel enthusiasts this year. So, our Primary Arms product of the week is the Primary Arms SLX 1-6x24 ACSS Nova Reticle. And the reason I put this in here is, one, the Nova Reticle is bright as anything, like the sun pretty much, but they are available for pre-order now. And this thing's the one, it's a second focal plane, but it's the one with their like fiber optic enhanced reticle system. And all I can tell you is it's super bright. So you can sign up for the Primary Arms newsletter and more by going to frn.deal/PA. And if you use the code FRN, there you will you can go to firearmsradio.net/PA for the latest FRN deal. But as of right now, if you order the PA GLX 1-6-24 first focal plane with the Raptor M6 reticle, you get a deluxe AR-15 scope mount for free. So that's still the current FRN deal. Now we're to what we did in Firearms. So whoever wants to jump in and go first can do that.
Well, Tony's going to go probably the longest, so I really didn't do a whole heck of a lot. I've been working my keister off. I haven't had a day off but in the last 3 weeks, so I didn't do squat.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah, that really does.
Well, it's part of the job. You like the toys, you got to work for them, right?
Yep.
Or so they say.
No, believe me, yep.
Yeah.
You up, Rusty?
Yeah, I just, my safe song and dance. I've been running my trap lines, and I've been shooting a lot of it.
Well, he was up until until whatever that was. Did you catch it, Tony? You were all scratchy and breaking up.
Yeah, really bad and loudly.
Oh, sorry. I said I've been running my trap lines and been shooting a lot of 22s, shooting the raccoons. I've been catching so many. I've been going before work and having to reset my traps and take them to work with me and skin them in between calls and everything else. So I've been doing really good lately.
I can't imagine that horror movie scene at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get these homeless people come up there and always asking, hey, man, can we bump some money? And I was like, hey, man, I'm so poor, I'm out here skinning raccoons. So, yeah, but been shooting a lot of 22, so it's been good, I've mounted a few optics on some rifles, did a few uppers, but that's about it.
Nice. Tony, I guess you're up now.
Yeah, I went to the Great American Outdoor Show, got my hands on some guns. Hopefully, we're gonna have some people that we're gonna have some people that comes through with us and actually gives us stuff to help us keep the fundraising going all year. I met Battle Horse Knives there, and the owner, who's awesome, she gave us a Woodsman knife. This is their was it '01 tool steel,
Sure.
and it is a solid, smaller knife, like a skinning knife or like a work knife for being in the woods, obviously. So it has like a 3.5-inch blade, three or 3.5-inch blade. Very beautiful. Also gave us a sheath, so we'll be doing that as a raffle later on. I'm trying to figure out the most strategic way to do this, so we continually have people donating, just so we can kick ass and do things we need to do. I'm going to be working on various things, including getting the website up. So I got to check out the new 1911 from Savage. It is very well made. I think they are jumping into the market with something really cool. I think it's always great to have room for another 1911 from a quality maker. I don't know how they're going to advertise it, though. I mean, are they going to really push it, or are they going to go to the FN school of advertising when it comes to handguns, and you just have to remember they made one? I saw Mossberg's M2, their handgun, which is a little bit bigger. I mean, it's a striker-fired Glock 40, Glock 43?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, okay. EAA
48, isn't it?
Yeah, 48. I'm sorry. EAA has their negotiator out, which is another 1911. I thought that was pretty cool. I saw that at the other show, at SHOT Show. I got to manipulate Henry's Homesteader 9mm semi-auto again, and I'm still liking that. I was over at Taylor & Company, and I got to handle their 9mm 1873 single-action Army, and I want one. I really think they're served a purpose. I think they get people who aren't, like, if you want a single-action Army, if you're a traditionalist, maybe you want it in the cowboy action thing, so you want a 45 or that's it, 45 long cold as most people, but then the same people that say they're traditionalists, they want it in 38 357 Magnum. I'm like, 357 Magnum was developed in 1935, right? That's not an Old West cartridge. So I'm thinking if you want 357 that was developed in 1935, you can go with a 9mm that was developed in 1907. Just saying. The cool thing about the 9mm also is that if you just want to shoot one, the ammo's cheaper than 38. If you're a person who this is your first gun, or maybe this is your second gun, but you also want it to be something like a home defense gun, but you're worried about safeties, you want simplicity, yada, yada, yada. Boom. There you go. Single action Army 9mm. So anyway, I like that. So hopefully we can work with them and get one to our diversity shoots, because I really think things like that are important. And I got to hang out with High Point, and I actually did an interview with them. I'm done the Great American Outdoor Show episode, which is episode 95. So I just have to put the commercials in, and that will be probably released tomorrow morning. So that's what I did with guns. I didn't really shoot much.
Oh my God, 2 episodes in 1 quarter. I don't believe it.
3.
3?
3. Yeah, I've been banging out episodes like a mofo this year, pretty much every 2 weeks.
Tony's a meth.
And I also did, and we did a comparison between the Glock Gen 2, Glock 19 Gen 2, and the Glock 19 Gen 5. Front serrations. And the Gen 5 doesn't have as good a trigger as the Gen 2. Glock perfection. Glock perfection.
Well, you need to compare it to the Gen 1, which didn't have finger
They never
grooves.
defined it, though.
There was no Glock 19 Gen 1.
Right, right.
So it's just like Glock 19 Gen 2, and then it's Glock 19 Gen 5, and it's like the stippling is better on the Gen 5, like by this much, because I've shot the shit out of my Gen 2 in different weather conditions, in the cold, in the heat of St. Louis, and it's not as tactile as the Gen 5, but it's not as if it was jumping out of my hand. I think a lot of emphasis is put on stippling that really doesn't need to be put on stippling, especially when you're shooting a 9mm out of a duty size gun. I'm like, how much stippling really needs to be on your Glock 34, bro?
Well, here's the other thing too, Tony. With stippling, if you have a really aggressive stippling and you're not wearing an undershirt or something, like I have it's an 80% Glock 43 frame. I think it's the Glock store one. And it doesn't seem like it's a very aggressive texture, but when you carry that thing in the summer, you really know, you're like, oh, this is a lot rougher than I expected it to be. So
yeah, because I mean, on this airsoft gun that looks like a Glock Gen 2, it's like does not irritate me when it's on my skin. Yeah, at all.
Yeah, what are you doing to that thing?
Your grip is front to back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your grip is really front to back for the most part. And I'm like, it freaking works.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Now, let's see. What did I do? I did make it to the range. I shot a few things. Nothing spectacular there. Just doing some more, review stuff. There was a local sportsman show. They don't really have hardly any guns or anything there, but they do have, I guess, prizes that are guns, so you can buy raffle tickets. And so I bought some, and they didn't call me Sunday night or Monday, so I guess I didn't win anything. Which, hey, it's not a big deal, but that's pretty much the extent of what I did. It wasn't super exciting, so, you get what you get. Guess it's time for announcements. Our buddies over at Patriot Patch Co. are the bandwidth sponsor. Yes, and, of course, as you may have heard, they're Patch of the Month. And this month, because, of course, we're recording on Valentine's Day, it's appropriate to show the, Seeking Love patch that we got here. It's hearts, smoke, all kinds of stuff. But basically, it's a rocket launcher. That's what you need to know. So, T-shirts. You want them. You can get them from the merch tab on the firearmsinsider.tv. It takes you over to the FRN site. There's a bunch of affiliate links and such on there. We do have a new one. It's for Global Ordnance, and basically that's because they sell ammo at decent prices. So that's the newest one over there. Rob,
Chad,
do you want to read this? Because I haven't recorded it yet.
Sure. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Now, this is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And Rusty, you want to talk about the main topic sponsor tonight? Or not?
Sure. Give me a second. No, go ahead. I'm trying to pull it up.
Okay, I'll do
it if you want.
Okay, Tony can do it.
All right. VZ Grips has been manufacturing handgun grips since 2003. With a reputation for quality, consistency, innovation, top-tier manufacturers choose VZ Grips. They come in a variety of styles, patterns, colors, and are manufactured from proprietary G10
micarta.
Woo! Micarta, carbon fiber, and the new polymer. Available with varying degrees of texture, VZ Grips offers a wide range of grips for all different firearm types. Made in the USA, VZ Grip offers you more than just handgun grips. The featured grip of the week is the 1911 VZ Recon Gadsden. Actually, I was looking at them, and I like the, Marsoc version?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a cool looking one. It stands out more.
It does.
You can put that on your Savage 1911 if they'll send you one.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens because, promises.
Exactly.
Welcome to the gun show.
That's right. And of course, you can check out VZ Grips at vzgrips.com. Coupon code GGR15 will get you 15% off those handgun and rifle grips. So head on over to vzgrips.com and say hi. I guess I'm the main topic. It is a product review. This week, I bring you the Primary Arms SLX 4-16 by 44 first focal plane. And I don't know, months ago, whenever they came out with this, probably 4, 5, 6, I don't know when it was. It was 2022. They had updated it essentially with some new reticles and stuff. So we talked about it then and mentioned our favorite keywords, something like, time to get optics or something. We're in the golden age of optics or whatever. Well, this review is going to help you with that. So, Primary Arms, as we just said, recently updated the SLX 4-16. The update gave this feature-rich SLX some new reticles. One of those is the ARC2 MOA, a simple yet effective illuminated reticle. I was excited to put this optic through its paces, and it did not disappoint. Primary Arms SLX line is what I like to call the performance-packed optics at a price everyone can afford, including Tony. Now, that might not be in the review, but he's shaking his head no, so I guess he can't. To put it simply, the SLX 4-16 by 44 first focal plane has magnification of 4 power to 16 power. A 44mm objective lens and a 30mm tube help you to gather as much light as possible. Magnification is adjusted with a ring backed by the eyepiece as pretty much standard. The ring has a raised fin that you can be removed or replaced if you do not like the particular one it comes on. Does have a side parallax adjustment that goes from 20 yards to infinity. On the end of the said parallax adjustment is the illumination ring. It has 11 values to illuminate the ARC2 reticle. Lowest 2 settings are night vision compatible. The highest setting is daylight bright. And I can actually see a little bit of red illumination in the bright sunlight. Something I can't always say when things say daylight bright. This one is a different story. It's not a dot either, so a little different application. The adjustment turrets on the SLX are tactical style. They're not capped, nor can they be. They have a pretty good tactile feel for quarter MOA clicks, but they are not very audible, if at all. These turrets are resettable to 0 with the supplied Allen wrench. No 0 stop, but you can't knock that for a $300 scope. Or at least I couldn't. Now that you guys have the general rundown of the optic, you get more. I'll start with the glass. For being the SLX line, the glass clarity is great, even at a full 16 magnification. I personally could make out a wire fence at around 500 yards. There is a picture at the firearmsinsider.tv in the review, so if you want to check that out. The fast focus eyepiece will get the reticle super clear, and the parallax adjustment, of course, gets the image spot on at all different ranges. I really am amazed at how clear the glass is for a $300 scope. The only real downfall of looking through the optic is its eye relief. Primary Arms specs it out at 3.6 to 3.9 inches, and you pretty much have to be in that 0.3 inch range to get a good eye box picture, especially at the higher magnifications, which is not a normal. I'm not using this as like on fast moving targets or anything to that, so it doesn't really bother me much that it's that limited, and it's not terrible like some other scopes I've used. It's really not bad. The Primary Arms 4-16 first focal plane has a few different reticle options. Some of them are their ACSS style, but I'm focusing on the ARC2 reticle because that's the particular scope that I have. I did choose the ARC2 MOA reticle because it's not cluttered up with stuff like so many Christmas tree reticles are. First off, the reticle's in minutes of angle, which is actually what I prefer. Second, it is first focal plane, so all subdivisions, hash marks, stay the same size throughout the full magnification range. The reticle grows as you increase magnification. This is so the marks in the reticle stay the same and are usable for windage and elevation holdovers at any magnification. On that note, Primary Arms did a really nice job with this reticle. Almost all the MOA marks are visible when it's 16x. I've seen first focal plane optics that a big portion of the reticle disappears when at full magnification, and it kind of irritates me sometimes. I mean, if it's a 35 power scope, I get it, but on something like this, they did a nice job. The reticle itself is essentially just a crosshair with little marks spaced every 2 MOA apart. Every 10 MOA, there's a larger mark and a number, or at least on the elevation portion of the reticle. Windage is a little different with 2 MOA marks for the first 10 MOA and then marks every 5 MOA past that. There is a picture of the reticle in there, not just a picture, but a diagram. The reticle is very clean. It's kind of old school mil dot meets new school technology is how I explain it the best. Did I mention that the grid portion of the reticle is illuminated? Well, of course it is, with the 11 brightness settings talked about earlier. I really like the style of the simple and useful reticles like the Arc 2 MOA. The Arc 2 is such a great reticle, but adjusting your scope is still very important. That brings us to the target turrets that are on this. If you're dialing your scope for windage or elevation adjustments, you want good target turrets. I found these to be repeatable, at least in my testing. If I dialed up 15 MOA and then back down 15 MOA, which happens to be one turn of the dial if you need to know, it shot where I expected it to do so. Didn't do a tracking test, but this isn't $1,000+ scope, so I didn't see any need for me to do that. The clicks on the turrets feel really good, but you can't really hear them. I prefer feel over hearing them anyway, which probably most people do. They also have a little resistance to them, which is nice. So they don't move if you bump them in the field. Of course, each turret's quarter MOA click. I told you about the 15 MOA per 1 revolution of the turret. It has over 85 MOA of total adjustment, or about 6 full turns of the turret. Left, right, and up are marked next to or under the turret, depending on which one it is, of course. There's also a little mark for you to use for setting 0. The SLX 4-16 has the ability to set the turret dials to 0 after you have it sighted in. There's 3 tiny set screws on the turret's top. Loosen them and rotate the knob to 0. Tighten them back up and your 0's now set. So I have this thing mounted up on I call it a varmint style AR. The scope weighs in at 25 ounces, but in this case, it's perfect scope for this in this price range. It's easily adjusted if needed. It has an illuminated reticle for low light use. Parallax adjustment goes super low, so even if I wanted to use it on something like a 22 long rifle, I could. I wouldn't hesitate to take this hunting in the brush. I think it would make an excellent hunting scope, as the Arc 2 reticle doesn't take up a lot of the room in the scope. The magnification range is also great for the AR's use case that I'm using it on. So if you're in the market for a feature-rich first focal plane optic, the Primary Arms SLX 4-16x44 Arc 2 might be it. I really just can't get over the options you get in this optic, and at an incredible price. Performed better than my expectations for sure. The updated SLX scopes from Primary Arms are definitely worth checking out. I'd show it to you on this airsoft rifle I have, but you know, it's not like you can get a really good picture on the video, so there's a picture of it, plenty of pictures in the review, so check it out. Firearms Insider Review, 8 key points. Claim to fame, quality, low price, first focal plane optic. Target market is pretty much anyone wanting an excellent quality mid-range optic at a reasonable price. Features and benefits, I'm sure you've heard a few of these. It is the Arc 2 MOA reticle, partial red illumination, visible in sunlight, 11 brightness settings, side parallax adjustment, Field of view, 4 power at 100 yards is 26.6 feet, and at 16 power, it is 6.5 feet. Let's see. Tube diameter is 30 millimeter, fast focus eyepiece, fog resistant, fully nitrogen purged, IP67 waterproof standard and dustproof, 6063 aluminum flip-up lens covers are included. Included is the CR2032 battery, and it does have Primary Arms lifetime warranty. Other options available, check out their SLX line. There's a lot of them. I couldn't find what others were saying or any other reviews. I think probably because it's a little new. Price point, MSRP is $299.99. So retail is the same, but if you followed Primary Arms for any time period, you know that they always have sales going on, so you can probably get it for a few bucks less. You can get it from Primary Arms or on Amazon if you really want to go there to get it. So for our rating, the pros, the price, the first focal plane reticle, the reticle options available, the good illumination, and the clear field of view. The cons are pretty much the non-forgiving eye box. Score, I gave it a score of 8.5, which is great, and I almost gave it a 9, but I figured, I figured 8.5, it's still great. So
yes, kind of heavy, right? I mean, is that 25 ounces?
It is heavy. That's the other con. And it's really, those are really the only two flaws with it. But if you look at other scopes, unless you get up to their GLX line or in other brands, you get up to the $700 scope, then they lose like 4 ounces. And of course, as they say, ounces are pounds, but it is what it is for a $300 scope. It's like you really, it is far better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not spending $800 to $1,000 scope prices. I mean, it's a great scope for the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Even at that, I mean, it's a great scope all in all. I mean, this thing will cover you out to 600 yards easy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And that's part of the reason it's on an AR is because it's like, you could shoot 1,000 yards with it, but I'm not going to. So, you guys got any questions or?
No, I was just thinking about using an optic or eventually buying an optic because I'm still in these competitions. I got the M16A2. It's designated. It's set up as a designated marksmanship, a designated marksman's rifle, and I have, it's a M16A4 clone, but I need glass on top of it. But I'm not dropping Trigicon money on it at all.
Right.
So it's like, what do you do? Like the loophole is the new Marine Corps DMR optic, but it's like, that's going to be expensive, and I think it's like a 2.5 by 8 or something like that.
2.5 to 18 or something.
No, it's not that much.
Oh, okay.
I think it's not even a 2 or 10. I think it's an 8. like they did the 2.5 to 8. So this is a 4 to 14. 16. 16, yeah.
Close enough.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to look at some stuff because it is a little bit heavy, but I'm just shooting from the bag and, shooting tight groups. And I want to compete because it seems like I won my category out on November 10th or that weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to enter the DMR event too. And I'm like, maybe I can.
And
if you're shooting from a bag, do you really need to worry about the weight of the scope?
No.
Yeah, no, not at all. But man, at 100 yards, that freaking is it a B8 target that the entire thing is like the size of a dinner plate?
Yeah.
And then it's like the inner edge of the dinner plate. So I think it's either 6 or 8 inch, like the bullseye black zone, I think is 8 inches.
Right. And
that's hard to see at 100 with iron sights.
Oh, yeah. It's like when I said I made it to the range, I actually had mounted up that 1 to 6 with the Nova reticle and was sighting it in. And that's why, granted, it's a 1 to 6, but it was on an AR and I was, shooting just standard cheap 223 ammo, I was hitting the 4-inch. They have at 200 yards. They have like a couple 4 and some 6-inch gongs, or they're just swinging targets. And 3 out of 4 times I was whacking the 4-inch one. So I figured, that was good. And that wasn't with the 4 to 6. With the 4 to 16, I've shot those same plates, and you can hit them all day long. It's super easy.
Right.
So I guess that was the Primary Arms SLX 4 to 16 by 44 first focal plane review. Now we're on to the product spotlight and discussion. First up, we've mentioned this probably a few times here and there over the last month, but it is the Oracle Arms 2311. MSRP is going to be $16.99 to $29.99, depending on which version you get. What makes this special is this is the new pistol. Nobody's made it. Right now it's in 9mm. It's the one that takes SIG P320 mags and is still, 1911 wide body style ish. It's still got that either polymer or aluminum frame pieced lower, and it's running like a 1911 style slide, 1911 style trigger. It's got a beaver tail. If I remember correctly, it doesn't have the grip safety. So you get all the good things, still hammer fired, that you get with the 1911 wide body 2011 style with it, but it takes easy to get, easy to find, not necessarily cheap, but 320 magazines. It does have an external extractor, which makes it tuning it easier for whatever competition loads you're running, probably. Pretty much 1911 style slide stop. It's running a linkless barrel and bushing free design, so it's easy to take down and clean. Modular grip and magwell, which we were talking about a little bit earlier. It includes 4 interchangeable slide plates. You get the iron sight one, the RMR, the Delta Point Pro, or the RMSC pattern optics. The compact version is the polymer grip, aluminum frame, 15+1 capacity, 4.25-inch barrel. Those are $16.99. If you want the aluminum grip, it's $19.99. Then the 5-inch versions, you have the Combat, Combat Elite, and the Competition. The Combat Elite and the Competition. The Combat Elite comes with 2 17-rounders and 3 21-round mags. The Competition comes with 5 21-round mags. The Combat comes with 3 17-rounders, stuff like that. I know Tony, they shut the range down before he could shoot this at range day at SHOT Show. I actually did shoot it at SHOT Show, and I think I shot both the 4.25 and 5-inch versions. One was polymer, one was aluminum, and they both, they shot nice. They felt nice. The way the grip is, it was too, not width-wise, but front to back was a little long for my hand. But I can't fault the gun for that. That was, that's just me. But it did shoot fairly nice. I was pretty impressed with it. I mean, that's about all I can say about it.
Wait a minute, dude. If it takes a P320 mag and you shot P320s before, hell, you have one.
No, because this is hammer fired single action. I have a 320, but
yeah, that's what I mean.
But
it takes 320 mags, right?
Yeah, but the grip frame is not a 320 grip frame.
So it's thicker or wider front to back.
Yeah, and it's like a 2011 frame widthwise, probably like a staccato. It was just the back strap kind of piece they have in it was, and I don't know if it's a separate piece, but I don't think so. It was just kind of humped back and it'll force your hand kind of up, but it was still a little large for mine.
So is a staccato large for yours?
No, because it's got a different, it's got a different kind of just the little shape at if you look at like the black one they have in their picture, you can kind of tell
that little hump right there.
That hump at the back.
Yeah.
That's what gave me problems. But that's just your hands are huge, Tony. It's not going to affect you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, my whole issue with a lot of these things is you got to get in your hand. You got to feel the gun. And I see a lot of people taking other people's word, like, oh, I'm going to get that. And I'm like, yo, bro, did you pick it up yet? Let's get your hands on it before you get all excited about, this gun, because you could shoot it like crap.
Right.
So anyway,
and
that's my only question.
I shot it fine, but that's probably because I've shot enough guns that it's not, but it's kind of one of those things. It's like, I love the idea of 320 mags with a single action in a 1911 style wide body frame. So, that I liked, shot good. I mean, it shot fine. I mean, and plus it's got the single action trigger, hammer fired.
Yeah.
Safety is in the same spot as a 1911 typical, so it's
like how they did away with the grip safety on it.
Yeah. That's a plus.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of positives. It just ticks me off that I got to the line and they ceased and I couldn't tell. I'm looking at the gun, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm standing there and I'm like, but they ceased, so you can't pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the most ridiculous, because I shot the Gerson's version. I shot the Prodigy.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get down there to shoot this, and we shot the double stacked version from that takes Glock mags. From Alpha Foxtrot. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to get in all these double stacked 1911 so I could figure out which ones I like the best. And everyone was talking about the Oracle, but it's not out yet. And who knows, somebody might bring it to one of our diversity shoots, because I really like to get my hands on it to check it out and see if I dig it, see if it does shoot well for me. But it doesn't say anything about that being adjustable, huh?
Yeah, and I totally didn't think about asking him. I was, so. And
modular grip doesn't mean what we think it means sometimes.
Right, because like a staccato has a modular grip too. It's like you can change out like this.
The entire grip.
Right, and this you can change out like the grip panels and stuff. So, in my case, I could maybe get the polymer grip and then just, cut it down on the back and re-stipple it. That might work for me. But I figure, hey, once they bring them out, start production on them, let them go from there. I think it's a great idea that people are coming out with stuff like this that's, competition ready and, uses mags that aren't $100 a piece. Instead, you can find them for $40 if you look around.
Yeah, and the competition comes with how many mags? Did you say 5?
5 21 rounders.
Yeah, that's actual competition. Yeah.
I mean, I have like 5 21 rounders, but for my sake, but yeah, I had to, it's like, if you think about it, MSRP on that's $250, cause they're $50 a piece. So
actually, that's what I told Sig when I was over there to, Saturday, because the new TAC Ops P365 comes with 4 magazines,
right?
4 17-round magazines. And I was like, you guys are getting back to where you were when you had the Blackwater edition where it had 5 mags with the 226. I was like, that allows a new person to go to the range and actually shoot in competitions, because it gives you the minimum of magazines to be able to run the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't you people all pull your heads out of your butt, add the price, but just sticking 1 mag in, unless I'm buying a budget gun. I shouldn't buy you know what I mean? I mean, like, I'm at the entry level of a budget gun. I should have more than 1 magazine to come with the gun.
Yeah, if you're paying $600-700 just for a handgun, throw the extra mag in and just make it at least 3.
Yeah, at least 3.
Yeah. which they did a good job on that because even their combat and compact are the ones that only come with 3 magazines. But like I said, but hey, it's at least 3 magazines. Well, I guess if you guys don't have anything else on the Oracle Arms, we will head on over to the JTS M12 AR shotgun. MSRP on this is $649.99. And, I will preface this with they also make AK styles instead of just AR styles. I actually shot one of these at range day, and that's part of the reason I put it in here because it impressed me more than I expected it to. This one, of course, is AR style. It's 12 gauge, shoots 2 3/4 and 3-inch shells. It does have a pick rail on top. They say it's a chrome lined barrel. It has a 4-position gas system for adjustments based on loads. It does run REM choke tubes. Comes with 2 5-round magazines. Barrel length is 18.7 inches. Overall length is 38. It's got an aluminum forearm with M-lock slots and 2 side plates. I don't know what the side plates are, but it does have removable front and rear sights. And since it's a AR style, you can put an optic on it, red dot or whatever you're really looking for. So the other thing is if you want 10-round magazines, they're like $30, so they're not super expensive for what you get with that. Let's see. Pretty much it is a fixed stock, they say, so it's not an adjustable. So, that's good for states like Tony's. I don't know if it applies to shotguns. But when I shot it, we were shooting clays in the wind. As everybody who's listened knows, this thing was super windy, so the clays were like moving around, and I was using iron sights to try to shoot clays. I wouldn't recommend that, but I did hit a few of them, which was all that I really needed to do. But the recoil on this thing was pretty mild. I was pretty impressed, probably due to the gas system adjustment, but it functioned fine. I didn't have any problems with it. I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. And then when I went looking around for stuff for the show, I was like, oh, MSRP on these things is like $650, and they make a cheaper version yet. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I don't know if you guys saw these or anything.
I didn't. I mean, I must have missed that booth at the range days.
Well, it was out with the shotguns. You guys, I don't think it made it there because it got shut down before then.
Yeah, the shotgun section was pretty much on the other. Like when we were at the end of the range, if you'd have turned around, you'd have pretty much walked into the shotgun section. I wanted to get there, but they shut the range down because they have some cool stuff there, or stuff we've already talked about that I'd love to get a chance to shoot. Yeah. And looking at these, because these are always questionable, whether they'll run or not. I mean, It's just that simple. Magazine-fed 12-gauge shotguns or magazine-fed shotguns in general aren't that dependable because of the different shells and their systems. Of course, this is illegal in Jersey because it has a pistol grip on a semi-automatic
shotgun. Yeah,
shotgun.
Stupid.
But yeah, it makes it more dangerous. But if it works, man. I'm glad about it. And it takes Remington tubes, so
yeah,
it's not common.
And the one I was shooting at SHOT Show, it had a 10-round magazine, so I got 10 rounds to shoot out of it. And they were going to let me shoot more, but I was like, no, that's pretty cool.
My only question would be, can I drop my shotgun silencer at the end of it?
It doesn't appear to be all. Does it
get welded?
No.
If it's got tubes, if it's got choke tubes, the Silencer Co. shotgun, the silencer they use, adapts using choke tubes.
If it's Remington choke tubes, then you can. And because it's got a 4-position gas system, you could probably turn it down so it won't send tons of gas back at you.
Now, I wonder about this. Like, what do you think? Because usually when we talk about run some rounds through your defensive firearm to make sure it's working, or work with the load you put in. How many rounds did you run through a semi-auto shotgun that's not a Benelli? Like, does it make a difference who it is? Because I think it would. Like, if you're going to run 12 gauge, for self-defense loads in, you got some buckshots. You want to make sure it runs with the buckshot you got. You want to know the pattern. Like, how many rounds do you run through it to make sure it works?
I would say quite a few, but
50.
yeah, like with like regular
boxes, yeah.
regular bird shot, I would run like tons of it through it. I mean,
Well, you just want to get your manipulation down with regular bird shot. But I'm like, how much buck do you run through it? Because it's funny to me,
right?
Because I don't think a lot of people even talk about that. They're like, oh, pattern your buckshot. One, whose buckshot? Which buckshot? How many rounds of it? Because when you're talking handgun and hollow points, people like put 200 rounds of your self-defense ammo through it. I'm like, bro, that's $200. Like, how deep do I get into that before I decide I don't want to use that? Do I, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, this, I'll pull a name out. Val is not working.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say at least like 50 rounds of like double aught buck or slugs or something. And if it were me, I would like number my magazines or something. And I would run all of that ammo through one magazine, because then I would know that magazine works, because a lot of these, the problems is the magazine.
Also, the problem is storage of plastic ammo inside a magazine under a spring tension could deform.
Yeah, it looks like these mags have some like ribs and stuff on them to help with that.
Yeah,
but
because deforming the mag and also deforming the ammo, that it won't feed into a chamber. So all that is questionable when it comes to using semi-automatic magazine-fed 12 gauges. That's why they haven't taken over the world. I mean, you think at this point it would be the thing, and it's like, no, it's not, because the shell technology is kind of old. Right.
Yeah, but as far as the JTS one goes, I thought it was fine, but yeah, those apply to all of them. So okay, well, I guess that's the JTS M12 AR, and like I said, they do make AK versions, and so I just, I like to be able to hit my controls with my thumb and finger and stuff. So, the AR one got put in here. Next up, we have the Matador Arms Mat 9. MSRP is $599.99. And I'm sure you've probably heard us talk about Matador Arms before. Well, this is their new blowback 9mm upper receiver. And I say new because, yes, it's new. It's a redesign of the Montco, except it's like a complete redesign. So that's what it is. It's upper. Let's see. It's their next generation blowback bufferless monolithic self-contained upper receiver, lower receivers for almost all 9mm magazines. You can use side folding stocks. It doesn't need a buffer tube. Easy takedown system. No tools are required to break down the upper for maintenance and cleaning. They made it for maximum weight reduction, slim profile, compatibility with bolt catches, lower receivers. It also uses a 4-piece trunnion system to maintain accuracy. Now, they say they have native mode and conversion mode. Native mode basically means you just drop it on your Glock, SIG, Colt, HK, MP5, CZ, Evo, Scorpion lowers that take those mags, and you go to town. Or conversion mode, they say it requires the Matador Arms Mag X magazine conversion kit, which is theirs, compatible with the following double stack magazines, Glock or 6 Hour. Some additional key features, they say. It does have a non-reciprocating steel charging handle. It is ambidextrous, so, depending on which side you want it on, that's always there. 4140 nitrided steel bolt and action parts, 6061 T6 upper receiver. It is running a 4150 lightweight nitrided barrel. It's 7.825 inches long, 1 in 10 twist with half 28 threads. Does have a NATO spec Picatinny top rail, 3 M-lock slots, both sides and bottom. It is compatible with the last round hold open lower receivers. So it's ready to run suppressor right out of the box, they say. I don't know if either of you guys saw this. I did stop by and see it pretty quickly, but I thought it was pretty cool. I thought the original one was pretty cool, but this one, the charging handle is in front of the receiver, but not like fully in front of it. So, it's kind of upper, kind of a la MP5-ish, but it's not.
It's non-reciprocating, which is really, really nice.
Right, and ambidextrous. So depending on what you do with it, I thought it was pretty cool. The price for what you get is not terrible. Of course, you have to use it on a pistol or registered SBR because, of course, it's a short barrel.
So this is a straight upper receiver, right?
That's exactly.
Upper receiver,
you drop it on your 9mm.
You're lower and you're good to go.
Yep.
So you got to get a 9mm lower receiver then.
If you don't have one, yes. Or you can buy, the Mag X from them.
The Mag X adapter.
Yeah.
No, you can buy just a Mag X adapter and put it with your regular AR lower.
Yep.
Like a mil-spec AR lower. And then you can put a buttload. I think it takes CZ75, P320, M&P, and Glock.
Yeah, they say that it's compatible with their Glock and 6 Hour ones, so I don't know about why the others.
Glock and SIG will pretty much cover you for everything you need.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it takes CZ75 too, because they sent me two of them. They sent me one for P320 back in the day when Nolan and
Annika, is that right?
Annika, yeah, Annika.
I was thinking,
Nolan and Annika ran the company. They've since sold the company and retired from the business for a little bit. But they developed this, and then it's a new and improved one. Angelo and Sean shot this at Iraqi Veteran 8888. And they both were impressed by it, and that was the old one. So, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. And if you want to get it, run it, man. Oh, and the thing with the arm brace, if you get it and get on, dude, the ATF is so going to lose. They just got sued by another 25 freaking state
exactly.
attorney generals.
Exactly.
Attorneys general.
Couldn't have happened to a nice organization.
That's like right.
25. That's half the country was like, yeah, no.
No.
And Montana said, yeah, no, we're not enforcing this anyway.
Yeah, well,
like throughout the state, we're not. They were like, yeah, ATF can't make up laws.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I think this is cool, and that helps with something like this because as I was at the Great American Outdoor Show, and you're talking to people about home defense firearms, what's the barrel length on this? 8
3/4 or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, that's Stream Silencer.
No, it's 7 and like I don't know 5/8.
Well, my thing is it pretty much says you can put regular 9mm hollow points in and probably get plus P performance out of them, and then you can put a suppressor on it, or you can put something like one of those CAC things that actually pushes the sound forward, so you're not blowing your eardrums out in the house. You know what I mean? It's pushing the sound or the blast down range more.
Right.
And you get something like this with a brace, and of course it can fold. So I don't know the thickness. Did they say how thick it was? Folded?
No, I didn't.
Because I did the little interview with Diamondback with their 5.7 pistol.
Right.
And it's like an inch wide.
Yeah, this is going to be a little wider because it fits on an AR lower anyway.
Yeah, but this is some truck gun type, small enough to maneuver in a vehicle, anti-carjacking kind of.
Yeah, I like this. You could run this with or without the brace, and it's 7 and just a little bit 7 and 7/8 something like that is not that long of a barrel, and it's new innovation because they've been putting out a lot of good stuff.
Actually, if this fits a standard AR lower, Tony, I'm sorry, but I could drop this on one of my SBR conversions I did.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Drop a silencer on there, and that'd be a perfect home defense gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. So that was the Matador Arms Mat 9. Sponsor number 3. Coming soon. So we're no longer, looking for advertisers. We found one.
Nice.
No listener feedback this week. So, Tony.
Well, all I got is news for you. I'll be flying out to Arizona Thursday morning to do the speech at their 10th annual Second Amendment rally. I will be one of the speakers there. I'm really excited about that. The announcements for the next diversity shoots will hopefully be happening when I get back. We'll have at least dates of the first one. And hopefully the website will be changed up so it can be easier for you to not only find out when the next diversity shoot is, but click on it and purchase tickets for them depending on location. So we got to work on how we're going to set that up. Like if I have Eventbrite links set up so you can go, I want to go to the ones in Jersey, you can pull them up and actually purchase tickets well ahead of time. So hopefully that can happen. But yeah, a lot is going on with diversity shoot. Oh, and we're getting more and more solid on the last weekend in May. We're going to be in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. Like it is coming through with NRAILA, and we're trying to see if the NSSF actually can get in on it so there can be all 3 of us hosting this event. It's going to be big. People trying to convince me to sell T-shirts for the Midwest tour as part of the fundraising. And also gives people something to, like if you make it to the events, you can collect the T-shirts for them all. Because I talked to them and it's like I'm gonna fly into Kansas City, and we're just gonna hit a road and do a tour and hit all these places. So if you want to follow us like the Grateful Dead and try to get all the freaking states in, that'll be pretty cool too. I'm thinking about making T-shirts for each event.
Yeah, you should put those colored gummy bears on them.
Yeah, right? Why not? Why not?
Yeah, see? There you go.
I mean, 1 is diversity. 2, each bear is a different color.
There you go. See?
All right, man.
Okay.
So that's what we're up to.
Awesome. So you can send us questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us a review somewhere. We greatly appreciate it if you do. We'll probably read it on the air, good or bad, especially if it's for another show that is not ours, because that never happens.
That's always funny.
I know. Check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.net. And if you want, leave them a review thinking it's us, or just do it on purpose. It won't matter. Be sure to check out the Firearms Insider at firearmsinsider.tv. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Firearms Insider. And as always, thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Epstein didn't kill himself.